Today I am going to discuss about gymnosperms. As I have already discussed about thallophyta, means thallus means undifferentiated, phyton means plant, means undifferentiated plant. They do not have well differentiated body design. Most of these groups are commonly known as algae. Next, bryophyta, these are called amphibian of the plant kingdom, as they can live in soil but are dependent on water for reproduction. Next, pteridophyta, these are the first land plant having vascular tissue. The body of this plant is differentiated into root, stem and leaves, and they do not bear flowers and do not produce seed. Now, gymnosperms. On the basis of whether the seeds are naked or enclosed in fruits, these are divided into two groups, gymnosperm and angiosperm. Gymnosperm and angiosperm. So, the characteristics of gymnosperm are: gymnos means naked and sperma means seed, naked seed. These plants are most primitive and bear seeds. These plants are most primitive and bear seeds. Plants are usually perennial, evergreen and woody. The seeds produced are naked and not enclosed within the fruits. These are the seeds. This is Pinus, this is Cycas. So, on the basis of whether the seeds are naked or enclosed in fruits, plant kingdom are categorized into two groups, gymnosperm and angiosperm. These plants, in gymnosperm, these plants are most primitive and bear seeds. The seeds produced are naked and are not enclosed within the fruit, and plants are usually evergreen, woody and perennial. For example, Cycas and Pinus. Sporophylls means spore bearing structure are aggregated to form cone. This is the cone. This is the cone. This is cone. Means sporophylls, spores bearing structure are aggregated to form cones, which are separated into male and female cone. This cone are of two types, male and female cone. For example, Cycas and Pinus. Now come to the next point, angiosperm. Angion means cover. Angion means covered and sperma means seed. That means covered seed. Seed enclosed with the fruit. So the characteristics of angiosperm are, they are also called flowering plant. Mostly these are called flowering plant. The seeds develop inside an organ called ovule. It modifies to become a fruit. So these are called flowering plants. Their seeds develop inside an organ called ovule. It modifies to become a fruit. Plant embryos in seeds have structure called cotyledons. See, this is ovule. This is the flowering plant, parts of flower. This is petal, sepal, stamen. Stamen are categorized into two groups, filament and anther, and this is pistil, stigma, style and ovary. This is ovule. The seeds develop inside an organ called ovule, means in this place. It modifies to become a fruit. Plant embryos in seeds have structure called cotyledons, and cotyledon are also called seed leaves, because in many cases they emerge and become green when seed germinates. And the angiosperm are divided into two groups on the basis of the number of cotyledons present in the seed. Dicotyledonous plants or dicot, and monocotyledonous plant or monocot. Dicotyledonous plants means having two cotyledon, and monocotyledonous plants mean having one cotyledon. So these are the characteristics of angiosperm. Angios means covered and sperma means seed. Characteristics of angiosperm are mostly they are called flowering plant. The seeds develop inside an organ called ovule. It modifies to become a fruit. Plant embryos in seeds have structure called cotyledons, and cotyledons are also called seed leaves because in many cases they emerge and become green when seed germinate. And the angiosperm are divided into two groups on the basis of the number of cotyledons present in the seed. Number of cotyledons means two cotyledons or one cotyledons. So this group are dicotyledonous plants or monocotyledonous plants. Dicotyledonous plants or dicot, monocotyledonous plants means monocot. So what are the difference between monocots and dicots? In angiosperm, on the basis of the cotyledons, they are categorized into two groups, monocot and dicot. Monocot, they contain one cotyledon. Monocot contains one cotyledon, and dicot means they contain two cotyledons. In case of monocots, leaves have parallel venation. But in case of dicotyledonous plant, leaves have reticulate venation. There are two type of venation, parallel venation and reticulate venation. In dicot, leaves have reticulate venation, but in monocot, leaves have parallel venation. And fibrous root system is present in monocot, but in dicot, tap root system is present. These are the difference between monocot and dicot. For example, in case of monocot, rice, onion, wheat, maize, these are monocots, and dicots, pea, neem, rose, etc. These are the monocot. So 5 kingdoms or plantae, five kingdoms are there: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animae. Plantae, depending on the characteristics, kingdom Plantae is divided as Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Gymnosperm and Angiosperm. Now come to the next point, kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia, mainly kingdom Animalia basis of classification are animals are classified based on coelom, means body cavity, body symmetry, patterns of digestive, circulatory or reproductive system. On the basis of these characteristics, animal kingdom are classified into various groups. Animal are classified based on coelom. Coelom means cavity, body symmetry, pattern of digestive system, circulatory or reproductive system. Circulatory system can be open or closed, may be open or closed. Symmetry can be radial or bilateral. There are two type of symmetry, radial symmetry or bilateral symmetry. Animals are also classified on the based on the embryonic layers. There are two type of layers, diploblastic or triploblastic. Presence or absence of body cavity is another basis for classification. They can be pseudocoelomate, acoelomate or coelomate. And another basis for classification is metamerism. Metamerism means segmentation, series of a repeating part, body segmentation. These all are the characteristics of basis of classification. On these basis, animals are categorized in varieties group. Mostly animals are eukaryotic, multicellular and heterotrophic organism. Mostly animals are eukaryotic, multicellular and heterotrophic organism. Most animals are mobile and their shell do not have any shell walls. In animals, their shell do not have any shell wall. Most of these animals are mobile. And kingdom Animalia again classified on the basis of extent and type of body design. Kingdom Animalia are classified on the basis of the type of body design. These are the classification of animal kingdom. Animals mostly multicellular, classified into two groups, cellular level and tissue level, tissue organ or organ system, level of organization. Next, symmetry. Symmetry means body asymmetry, symmetry, radial symmetry or bilateral symmetry. Next, body cavity or coelom. Coelom is present or not. Symmetry are of two types, radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Body cavity or coelom, that means body acoelomate. Without body cavity is known as acoelomate. With false coelom, false cavity, that means pseudocoelomates. And with true coelom, means coelom is present, this is coelomates. So kingdom Animalia, multicellular, cellular level of animal is group is Porifera. Cellular level organism is Porifera. Then symmetry, radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Tissue organ system are again classified into two groups, radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Radial symmetry are Coelenterata and Ctenophora. Again bilateral symmetry are classified into three groups on the basis of body cavity, without body cavity, with false coelom and with true coelom. These are total animal classification. Now come to the next point. First group, Porifera. Porous. Porous means pore and fera means to bear. Porous means pore and fera means to bear. Pore bear organism are known as Porifera. So what are the characteristics of Porifera? They are mostly marine. They are mostly marine, but few are found in fresh water. They are mostly marine and few are found in fresh water. And animals that belong to this phylum are commonly called sponges. Animals that belongs to this phylum commonly called sponges. These are Porifera group. These animals are in Porifera group. Animals that belong to this group are commonly called sponges. They may be round shape, may be vase-like, may be branched and may be sac-like. They have minimal differentiation and division into tissue. Their minimal differentiation and division into tissue. These organisms are acoelomate. Acoelomate means body cavity is absent. These organisms are acoelomate, body cavity is absent and with cellular level of body organization. These organisms are acoelomate means body cavity absent with cellular level of body organism. They may be vase-like, rounded, sac-like or branched. They consist of innumerable holes or pores all over the body. They consist pore all over the body which lead to a canal system. They consist of pores all over the body which lead to a canal system, and this system helps in circulation of water throughout the body to bring in food and oxygen. There are holes or pores all over the body which leads to a canal system, and this system help in circulation of water throughout the body to bring in food and oxygen. And their body is covered with a hard outside layer or skeleton. Their body is covered with a hard outside layer or skeleton. For example, Spongilla, Scheichon. These are the Scheichon. Spongilla and Scheichon are in Porifera groups. So what are the characteristics of Porifera? Mainly porous means pore and fera means to bear. They are mostly marine but few are found in fresh water. Animal that belongs to this group mostly commonly known as sponges, and they may be vase-like, rounded, sac-like or branched. They are holes or pores all over the body which lead to a canal system, and this system help in circulation of water throughout the body to bring in food and oxygen. And their body is also covered with a hard outside layer or skeleton. With their organism, these organisms are acoelomate means body cavity are absent with cellular level of body organism. These are the characteristics of Porifera. For example, Spongilla and Scheichon. Now come to the next group, Coelenterata. Coelenterata, Coelos means hollow and enteron means gut. What is gut? The portion of alimentary canal. The portion of alimentary canal. So Coelos means hollow and enteron means gut. And what are the characteristics of coelenteron? These animals show better body design than differentiation of porifera. These animals show better body design, differentiation than porifera. Better than porifera. They live in water and have tentacles for locomotion. This is Hydra. These are the tentacles. This is jellyfish. These are the tentacles. So they live in water and have tentacles for locomotion. They have central body cavity called coelenterate or gastrovascular cavity. These organisms are multicellular and acoelomate. They have tissue level of organization with a distinct division of liver. These organisms are multicellular and acoelomate. They have tissue level of organization, and these are called diploblastic animal. What do you mean by diploblastic animal? Diploblastic means the body is made up of two layer of cells, embryonic layer. The body is made up of two layer of cell. One make up cells outside the body and other makes the inner lining of the body. That means two layers of cell. That's why it is called diploblastic animal. The body is made up of two layers of cells. One makes up cell outside the body and other makes the inner lining of the body. Some species live in colonies grouped together while others have a solitary lifespan. Some coelenterates live in colonies while others have a solitary lifespan, and body of these animals show radial symmetry. Radial symmetry means body design is arranged in a circular pattern. Body design in this type of symmetry, radial symmetry, in this type of symmetry, body design is arranged in a circular pattern with a center point. Circular pattern with a center point. So what are the characteristics of Coelenterata? These animals show better body design than porifera. These organisms are multicellular and acoelomate. They have tissue level of organization with a distinct division of liver. They live in water and have tentacles, appendages for locomotion. Tentacle used for locomotion, and coelenterates have a central body cavity called gastrovascular cavity. The body is made up of two layers of shell. One makes up shells on the outside of the body and other makes the inner lining of the body. That's why these are called as diploblastic animal. These are called diploblastic animal. Diploblastic animals means two layers of shell. Body is made up of two layers. One make up shell outside the body and other makes the inner lining the body. And some species live in colonies whereas some have a solitary lifespan. Most of these animals, body of these animals show radial symmetry. Radial symmetry, in this type of symmetry, body design is arranged in a circular pattern with a centered point. So these are diploblastic, acoelomate, radial symmetry, show radial symmetry. Body of these animals show radial symmetry and they have a central cavity, body cavity called gastrovascular cavity. For example, Hydra, this is sea anemone and this is jellyfish. All are in these Coelenterata groups. Now come to the next group,